So in today's video, I'm going to show you how we put together this complete resin chess set. Let's check it out. Okay, so this resin chess set that I'm going to show you, I purchased off of Amazon all the molds for it. Relatively inexpensive. They have a smaller size and a larger size. I purchased the larger size. And the first thing that started out was the molds for all of the chess pieces. I read online that they were rather flimsy, so the first thing I wanted to do was jump on in and use my laser engraver and create a holder for all of these chess pieces to fit into the molds, so that when we poured them, they were nice and solid and I could put them inside my pressure pot. And so that's what we did. For the chessboard, I used this angle iron to support the side pieces. So I used these pieces to give some reinforcement to these edges. This is silicon, so it flexes quite a bit. And I held these down with double-sided tape. So that's all it's holding that all together for right now. And that way I can reuse these. Now, one of the problems that I found with the mold was that it started to lift from the surface. The mold wouldn't lay completely flat, even though I laid it out a couple days before. So I had to add some weights in between the squares. However, when it came time to pour the second bunch of squares, it still wanted to pull up and leave a little bit of a wave in it. So again, I had to add some weight on the pieces that were already cured from the day before. Now in the final part, I got kind of a little ahead of myself here, and I poured over the purple on top. With the blue wasn't completely cured. I let it sit there for a couple hours, but I probably should have let it sit there overnight and cured completely, because what happened was that the purple mixed in with that light blue, and so it changed it to a darker blue, which I'll find out later on when we reveal everything. Okay, so here's our finished chess set here, and I really like the way that this thing come out. The molds are really nice. The larger chess set, they have a good weight to them, a good feel, no extra weight put in them, just the resin is just about perfect. Now you do have to sand down the bottom of them. They do get a sharp edge around the mold on the outside. So I sanded it down, and I just bought some of this cork shelf contact paper, which is a cork, and I used that for the bottoms here. And that came out really good. The pieces just come out nice. Even the knights look fantastic. On the blues, when I did change up the color, I added a little bit more blue in a couple pieces. So a couple pieces are a little darker than the others. But I think if you pour all the pieces at the same time, you won't have that problem. Or if you have a solid color like this, you won't have that problem. As for the chess board itself, I think I'd rather make a wooden one and maybe add resin to it. The only reason is that we still got some waves here. The silicon mold still wanted to lift off that piece of MDF that I had. I think maybe if I just covered it with double-sided tape and push that mold down, that would probably keep it nice and flat. But I do have some waves over here. Now, I've seen other people come across here and add some resin across the top there, and I think that probably is the way to go with it. The bottom edges of this chessboard are rather sharp, so they need to be either filed down, or I think I'm just going to take a couple pieces of 2-inch wide maple and just make a frame around it for it to sit in. I'll glue it in that frame, and that'll prevent any of that happening as far as the sharp edge on the boards here. But other than that, it's really a fun project to work on. I think it's something that you would enjoy doing. I enjoyed doing it with my granddaughter. It was a lot of fun, and we put it all together, and we poured everything within a couple of days. Now, I did rush the one part on this chessboard, but I think probably figure about a week's time to do everything. And if you have a pressure pot to put these pieces in, they come out much nicer. Now, when you do put these pieces in there, you do have to squeeze the bottom of the silicone mold to prevent any bubbles from forming around these rings here. But that's relatively easy to do. Other than that, great project to work on with anybody, or to make your own chess set. Any colors you want. I'm going to definitely be pouring some more pieces here real soon. And I'm making a nice wooden chessboard with a case around it. So stay tuned for that. If you like what you see, please do subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. And I hope to have you around for the next video. Thanks for watching this one.